Hi everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Dragway Memories. We got lots to show you as usual. We're going to start with some 1982 Dragway Park action.
Alright, continuing with some bracket action. Got a beautiful 67 all black Camaro that I don't know a darn thing about. Could be somebody I really know, but it sure looks really nice.
And familiar.
And familiar, exactly. This looks like the former Finney Brothers car. It somewhere along the line got the wheelbase extended, which is probably a good move.
Richard Roosevelt, Plastic Money, out of Brantford.
Yep, real deal.
Douglas Automotive on the front fender there. We just lost Donnie Douglas.
Yep.
One of the original hot rodders that took over and made drag racing what it is in Canada.
Steve McCumber in the Vega. Got the Formula 5000 scoop on it.
Up against the bike. We don't run bikes at Cayuga anymore.
No.
We won't, as long as we have anything to say about it.
So, green Kawasaki, we need help, folks, in viewership land.
No, a lot of the guys that run today, Ted Glennie and a few of the others, ran back then, but sorry, I'm not a bike guy, I'm a car guy.
We have checked our files and we don't have a name. Bike having some troubles getting off the line. There's two famous cars, Maxi Rat and the Ribbit. Claude Lozier in the 71 Cuda, that turned out to be a real 446 pack car, and Claude tells me it's in good hands and is being restored back to original. In the other lane, Ed Dominicetti in the silver painted Monza. Later on, it had some more body work and a complete fiberglass front end. It was repainted red.
And then he balled it up.
Yeah. So, looks like Super Gas is the eliminator of choice, looking at the SG on Claude's Cuda. So that thing would be pretty much maxed out to run 990. Maxi Rat to Ed Dominicetti.
Dry hit after dry hit.
Yep, built from parts and pieces from his Opel Kadett.
Drive a race director nuts these days, trying to get all those cars down through the...
Oh, wow, yeah. That car always hopped like that, too.
Yes, I remember that, yep. Probably,
Not a tight enough shock or something. Putman Bardall Racing, boy, they were the be-all for quite some time here at the park. Up against the multicolored Vega, I believe it's Don Knight out of Buffalo. BDR, famous converter specialists in Buffalo. Super Gas Racing, 990.
pre-delay box.
Free delay box, thank goodness.
Vince Pearson, Towerside.
Vince Pearson and yet to be... Oh no, that's Wayne Curley.
That's Wayne.
Yeah. The Acadian. Active engines, typical Woody lettering at the time. You can see very distinctive, always very, very good lettering.
John Dieball having a word with the tower.
Usually about what is the dial in. And you can see from Wayne's side, hard to see the numbers.
All right, for all you model car geeks, here's a model minute. This week on A Model Minute, we featured Bill Richards' build-up of the Ford of Canada Team Cougar. Starting with an expensive, out-of-production MPC 1970 Cougar kit, Bill set about acquiring the necessary parts from various sources. The engine is a 428 built mostly stock with a resin 735 Holley on top. The engine is also wired and plumbed. The front wheels are pewter aftermarkets from an unknown source, and the tires on all four corners are courtesy of Perry's Resin. Bill spent considerable time getting the wheels and tires to fit the wheel wells like the real car. Paint was farmed out to a professional artist, and the cost of the model was approximately $1,000. The real car ran in G-Stock automatic with Vic Bellamy and Bruce Fitzgibbon doing the driving. In 1972, Bruce bought the car and ran it in Super Stock. Later, Dieter ran it on the street with a 351. As a companion to our modified and super stock series, Bill and I have started a comp series. This week we featured Percy Also, the famous Fiat.
One of the most famous comp eliminator cars ever. Percy Also. Here is a Ross Martin shot of it at the show, and you can see that car belt's heavily involved. You can see the engine setup of the day is very, very high up and angled towards the driver. As they progress, they've lowered the motor down somewhat. Different set of headers here. Another different set of headers. You can see the motor is still not down to where a modern car would be. It's now got gold leaf lettering, car belt speed and custom, beautiful candy red paint, white on the inside. And this one is a bit earlier, but still with small block Chevy. You can see some different header configuration, no collectors on them at all. And Christie Automotive still sponsoring them and doing a lot of engine work. Here we go. This is at Indy. This is now 1968 or so. You can see the drag dimensions lettering on it. Still small block Chevy. This is at the U.S. Nationals, where I believe they went to runner-up with this car. Here you can see it as a C-altered and a beautiful shot with, I believe this guy is Carl Skura on the right-hand side, as we are at Niagara. And you can see them racing this dragster here. They went everywhere, whenever they could, did a lot of racing stateside, garnered there's a lot of photos of this car because they did tour it so much. Now they've decided, okay, we've run the gamut here with small block Chevys. Hemis are the way to go. So here is first picture we have of it with a Hemi. You'll notice a very high injection stacks and zoomy headers, which weren't on the car very long. Now you can see it actually racing. They've done the roof chop some more, and now it's got a different, no longer has zoomies. It's got a collector style header and a much shorter injection system, still with no lettering here earlier at Niagara. And here is a Bill Rose shot of it just a little while later at Cayuga. You can see the famous wheelie casters and the nerf bars at the back, big giant parachute. They put a lot of weight in the car to run they wanted to run the C-altered. Now don't forget they had a 358-inch Chevy in it, and now they're putting a 426 Hemi in it. There's lots of weight right behind the collectors, right down low is where they put those new sheets of metal are covering up a bunch of weight. You can see it had quite a lot of speckle in the candy red paint here, still with no lettering. Next version, motor is down low, still the same stack setup. Now drag dimensions is prominently involved, and the latest paint job, red, purple, and white. And you can see that it still looks pretty sharp. Last incarnation as Percy Also, Nick Minialoff now involved. This is just before he gets involved in his own pro stock efforts. You can see it's still pretty much unchanged. Chassis still the same, motor and all that. But they know how to win class, and whenever they went to Indy, they'd clean up in C-altered. After its racing days as a class racer, it became a very famous bracket racer in the hands of Doug McDonald. McDonald took the 440 out of his Cuda. It was a 6-pack motor, and he plunked it in this machine and immediately started to win races in Super Pro. And this is the last incarnation before Doug chopped it all up to make a more modern Ford Roadster. You can see that there's additional tubing on the roll cage, and the most easiest way, dead giveaway, is all the custom airbrush graphics that were on the car in the final season he campaigned. Percy Also.
All right, that's all for this week's edition of Dragway Memories. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more coming for you starting next week. Remember, hook hard, go straight, don't be late, and may your God bless you. See you later.